Hello everyone, I'm Swalika and I'm studying in Georgian National University in Tbilisi, Georgia. Today I'm going to tell you guys how the classes will be in our university, about the quizzes and exams. So first, regarding classes, we have lectures and seminar. Lecture will be for 1 hour and seminar will be for 2 hours. In lecture, they will be teaching you the topics, and in seminar, the professor will be discussing either lecture topics with you, or they will tell you to make presentation, or they might ask you questions. Sometimes they ask question to put marks, or sometimes just to know like how much you know, not for the evaluation. And every week we will be discussing topics from the previous week, so it doesn't actually matter whether the lecture comes first or seminar, because sometimes seminar comes first, then next day or after 2 3 days you will be having lecture, so it is completely fine. You can have classes anytime between 9 a.m. and 10 p.m. So it's not like you will be having classes continuously from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. So it actually depends. So now I will show you guys my timetable, so that you guys have an idea about how classes will be. So this is our university portal, and in the portal there is a table section, and in the when you select the table, you can see your timetable after doing the registration. So as you guys can see, I have classes at random times, and you guys can see that on Monday I have 3 class, on Tuesday I have 2 classes, on Wednesday I have 4 classes, on Thursday I have 2 classes, on Friday I have 3 classes, and on Saturday, which is not visible here, I have only 1 class. On Sunday I'm not having any classes. So you guys can see that on Monday I have pathology seminar from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So as it is seminar, it will be for 2 hours, and then after that I have a pharmacology lecture from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Next I have a physical diagnosis lecture from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So you can see that from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. I am having a break. So in that break, you can either stay in the university, like you can go to library, or you can stay in the lobby of first floor, or else you can go back to your hostel or home. Then you can have food and you can take some rest and come back for 6 p.m. class. So it depends on personal preferences, like what you want to do. So on Tuesday, my classes are starting from 2 p.m. So I have class from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Then I have class from 6 to 8 p.m. And on Wednesday and Thursday, my classes are starting at 10 a.m. And then on Wednesday, I have class till 7 p.m. And then after that, on Thursday my classes are ending at 1 p.m., and after that I'm not having any class. And on Friday my classes are starting from 4 p.m. So 4 to 5 I'm having research skill lecture in the university. After that, 6 to 7 and 7 to 8 I have a lab lecture and seminar in the hospital. So you will be having hospital classes from 5th semester, so the location of the hospital will be sent to your mail. So according to the location, you need to go on the time shown in the timetable. So yeah, this is my timetable, and also you can see there are some numbers here like 60A, 606, 412 and 404. So it actually indicate the room number. So let's compare these two. So here you can see that between 6 and 08 there is a hyphen, but here there is no hyphen. So if there is a hyphen, then it means that you are having class in the new building. If there is no hyphen, which means you are having classes in the old building. So in our university, that is in the Georgian National University, we can have classes in the new building and old building. If the classes are in the new building, it is indicated by a hyphen. If there is no hyphen, like as seen in here, then it means that you have a class in the old building. So let's take this 608. So always the first one digit or two digit indicate the floor number, and last a two digit indicate the room number. So for example, here it is given 6-08. So here it means that you have class in the 6th floor of no building in the 8th room. So in both buildings, outside the class these numbers will be written, so you can go easily. Sometimes you can have a 4 digit number like this. So as I already mentioned, the first one digit or the first two digit indicate the floor number. So here the first two digit is 16, which means you have class in the 16th floor, and last two digit is 03, which means in the third room. So here there is no hyphen, it means that you have class in the 16th floor of old building in the third room. And next, I'm gonna talk about the evaluation. So for the evaluation, we have quizzes and exams. Totally, it is for 100 marks. So out of 100 marks, 40 marks is for the quiz, 20 for the midterm, and 40 for the finals. For 40 marks, we will be having 4 quizzes. So we have 2 written quizzes and 2 oral quizzes. Written quizzes will be in the examination center, whereas oral quizzes will be with the professors. And written quiz will be for 20 marks, oral quiz for 20 marks. And out of this 20 marks, you need to get minimum 10 marks to pass in both. So in written quiz and in both written quiz and oral quiz, you need to get minimum 10 marks to pass. For the written quiz, if you get less than 10, you don't have a chance to retake it. So in that case, you will be failing, because if you don't pass in the quiz, you cannot write the final exam. So you fail in that subject and you need to retake this subject again in the next semester. So for example, if you are in the fourth semester, and if you fail in anatomy written quiz, then because of this uh, because of this you cannot take 5 other subjects in the fifth semester, because in order to take pharmacology, pathology, radiology, lab, and physical diagnosis, you need to pass anatomy, histology, imaging, physiology, and biochemistry. Even in one of these subjects, if you fail, you cannot take the 5 subjects from the fifth semester. And if anatomy, histology, and imaging comes together, so in these 3 subjects, if you fail once in one subject, all these 3 you need to retake again in the next semester. Physiology, biochemistry comes together. If you fail in this one subject, then you need to retake physiology and biochemistry again in the next semester. For the oral quiz, depending on the professors, you might have a chance to retake. Most of the professors keep retake, so you have a chance to pass in the quiz. But some professors won't keep retake, so in that case you are failing again, and you have to retake the subject again in the next semester. So make sure that you are passing in everything. And for the midterm is out of 20 marks, and out of 20 you need to get 50 percentage, which is minimum 10. And if you get less than 10 in for the exams, we have a chance to retake again. Only one chance you have. Again, if you fail in that retake, then again you are failing and you cannot write the final exam. And final exam is for 40 marks, and out of 40 you need to get minimum 20. And if you are getting less than 20 marks, you have one chance to retake it again. And if you are failing again in the retake, then again you have to retake the subject. So yeah, these are the important things which I wanted to tell you guys. If you guys have any doubt, then you can ask in the comments, and you can also suggest me what kind of videos I need to make in the future. So yeah, that's it for today. Bye.